Holy cow. Hello, can you hear me out there? Come on, can you guys hear me out here? My name is Tom Hilton. I'm from Astoria, Oregon, and I'll tell you, it is quite an honor to follow Gino and Hope and stand here in my hometown in Liberty Theater. It's kind of intimidating and creepy all at the same time. I call this Bay of Assumption. Behold the copper sky, thrashing turquoise sea, wind-swept golden locks shimmering, constantly mocking me. Misty, glittering emerald eyes bring forth fortuitous dreams, binding passionate hearts, playing tricks on my eyelid screens. Starboard chops into the westerly gale, ripping cleats of lesser men. A sturgeon scoot has gashed our hearts. I cast her away again. My skin grows cold and clammy. My acid stomach churns. To mend our broken hearts, my fishing passion burns. Unwrapping, unraveling, untangling, gives life meaning to thee. The bay grows light with caps of white, frothy, foaming swales. We pray for life on this moonless night to tell this wretched's tale. It's time to pick our low water drift in the graveyard of the Pacific. In the waning ebb, I am relieved of dread. The squall has all but subsided. A flash of white, Desdemona's light, by her we will be guided. One after one, one after one, appearing from the salty brine. Silver bright, flashing tails upon the picking light did shine. The net pulled taut. The lines stretched tight. Hydraulics began to squeal. Our net did snag upon the hag of a sunken schooner's keel. I struggled with the great weight, tangled in my gear. My heart, my knife, my pick and hook, our web did rip and tear. I did not see her tentacle head break the velvet waves, nor did I see the festering barnacles covering her face. I did not see the 1,000 tiny creatures in the sockets of her skull. I did not see the crabs in her smile until her ribcage slammed the hull. My mouth dry as sand, my throat tight as an Indian drum. My heart did beat and pound. For ghastly sight, black velvet night, in my dreams, in my tears, she drowned. I heave, I retch, I gap her in the head, splattering as she hits the deck. I look upon the decaying flesh, slimy, oozy, moldy breath, vile, rotten, horrid stench, decomposing nightmare, Lady Death. Her skeleton hands did reach for me, swiping where my heart used to be. My load lay dead in my dreary eyes, her crumpled skeleton at my feet. A time of fear, a time of hope, a time for both. Thank you. I'm the adopted son of a socialist Finn. My mom was French-Canadian, Cowlitz Prairie Indian. Her family brought the Catholic missionaries down the Canadian route into Cowlitz Prairie and Father Blanchette. The kids in my neighborhood would call me a brown-eyed Finn, but I'm an adopted kid from Southeast. I'm an Irish kid. So this is a conversation that's going on in heaven. You pick me up, kid? Yeah, go ahead, Swede. Bumblebee and I are at the head of the island having a cup of coffee. Yeah, sounds good. Red Horse, Smith Point, A-Bone are by the buoy. Waldo's in the shooting gallery. Fast Eddie's in the creek. Coke is just below Lottie's place, and Chrysler, he's in the Sisters in 15 Fathom. The face is closed and we're running to the top. Up, 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 Swede. Yeah, sounds good, kid. You see Kanopsky? Yeah, he's right there next to God. Hey, Swede. Yeah, go. You see the hawk? No, he's somewhere here. I think he's in the bite. Where's Gilbert? He's drifting and dreaming by the shack on the beach. Nice big bunch is hitting here. Hey, kid, who you gonna sell to? Harold didn't make it up here. Huh? That's too bad. Hey, Bone, you see Dan Foley? Yeah, Swede, he's buying. You pick me up, kid? Yeah, go ahead, Swede. Where's Eldon? He's still writing stories. There's a nice clatter. Should have put the balls on. You got it on, kid? Yeah, go ahead, Swede. What do you know? Not much, Billy. Not much. Haven't seen Pete. Pete Peterson? I hear his nephew Steve is here. He's still pulling for him. No, Swede. I think he's at the south end of the island getting 200 adrift. Johnny O right there with them. Hoo-hoo! His kid Ray ran out of the river and sunk the net. Wildcat Tony's over here making breakfast. You want some greasy eggs, kid? Pete Lover, Jimmy Watson, and Froggy, they're anchored up in Old Man's Bay. I think we're going to pick this one up and run up and east. Where's the rest of the fleet? The rest of the fleet? Still waiting to get out of the river. You see Roberts? Gordon? Oh, yeah. He's got a boatload and he's heading to the tender. Last of the flood, high water down. The weather sure is nice here, sunny and light and south breeze, just enough to keep the boat off the gear. Fish jumping as far as the eye can see, hanging like grapes. You pick me up, kid? Yeah, I got you, Swede. How we doing now? Man, this is a tough crowd, man. Heck, this is Fisher Poets. It's 2020. Are you not entertained or something? Am I supposed to dance a jig for you? What am I, some kind of clown up here or something? Man, look at them up there. They're just up there. Oh, what's that? You on the list, man? Okay, that's what I thought. All that's left is legends, names etched in a granite wall. Black and white photos, folklores for sale in the Maritime Museum store. Boats of wood, hands of steel, hearts of gold. All races, colors, and creeds. A man was valued by his word, firm handshake his deeds. Wide aprons, supermodels grinning from ear to ear. Days measured by seasons, not years. Tattered edges, faded yellow-brown, ripped, torn. Memories of the glory days when gill nettings was born. Dilapidated docks, rotten pilings, broken tops beneath our tidal view. Skeleton bones, partially submerged homes. Lonely net racks, empty bluestone tanks. Broken windows, moldy, musty, dusty, dank. Wooden corks, lead lines, linen nets stripped clean of all their glory. No more mug-up, coffee time, just empty chairs waiting for stories. Court is no longer in session. Yesterday's mist, see-through, faded, transparent, not bitter, jaded. Today's monofilament, tangled nets, Jesus box, deadliest sketch drama, overstated, overrated prima donnas. If those pilings could talk, what tales would they weave? Would they be fortuitous of sport fishermen's greed? Countless stories, work is our joy, fortunes made, loves, family, togetherness, life, salmon, laughter, heartbreak, lost. Butterflies and bow pickers, double enders and power scouts, cash buyers and tenders, 4 bits a pound. Clifton, Brookfield, Altoona, Alderbrook, Uppertown, Uniontown, Celilo. Where did they all go? Salmon culture, A menagerie of people, a colorful plast, romanticized, plagiarized, and eulogized by people like me. Fishing is more than a tradition, Governor. It's a religious ceremony. Ebbing current, tide shift, surge of change, pulling our nets, taking us under. These words bury my pain. Black and white photos, names stitched on that granite wall. Let's not forget them, the true legends of fall. What it was like back then, full of salmon, sturgeon, seiners, trollers, gill netters, cannery women, stomper. Astoria is fighting fishermen. The story is over. All the legends have died. Eyes welled with wet, politicians lied. Last of my tears shed, cried. So if those pilings could talk, ask one how it was back then. It will probably tell you those days are gone forever, kid, with a stroke of a pen. I'm doing nothing but stuff I know, and I'm going to say it really fast. So that's about the Uniontown Supreme Court. They're a group of men that they started at the Seafair and the Thunderbird, and they moved along to every place that would have them until the Cannery Cafe burned down. There's none of them left. They're all dead. They used to sit around and solve the world's problems. So this one's because it's one drift and we all go home. Man, now that you got your ticket, the weather will be great, the reds will be thick, just enough to keep the boat off the gear, hanging like grapes. Girls will be friendly, food will be delicious, jokes will be told, legends made, and chasing dogs is foolish. The cast is gathered, new faces and old, greenhorns and legends looking for the big score, from Ninilchik, Homer, and Halibut Cove to the west side set netters and the girls on Fisherman's Road. They'll be counting down the minutes to throw the buoy ball, looking for bunches hitting and telling stories in the mess hall. Because it's summertime in Alaska, along the peninsula. The reds are running and jumping and finning their way home. They're running up the inlet. That's how they run in the land of milk and honey and the midnight sun. Maggots line that college hole bank, pukers with full boats. The dippies are up to their neck in our wakes. An eagle flies alone. South wind blows, pizza at Paradiso's, sun never sets, baseball at Oilers Park, drive down the North Beach. The boys belly up to Kenai Joe's bar. Smell of blood, sweat and gurry. The gulls shuffle along the tin roof of the bunkhouse, hurry, squawking, talking, sharing a meal. No time to lick your wounds or let the bruises heal. Not so young anymore. No youthful zeal. Ice in the cooler, boats clean, windows washed. Crank up the tunes, Joel Miller. It's your turn for Wheel Watch. No time for sleep. South 210, that's the heading. South end of the island, that's what we're betting. The reds are laying along the edge of the bar. Last of the flood, high water, download the boat. Head to town, because it's one drift, and we all go home. East on the flood, west on the ebb. That's the rules to follow. Look for the jumpers, follow the scenes. Up the inlet, sunken net in your dreams. Because it's summertime in Alaska. Along the peninsula, the reds are running, jumping, and finning their way home. They're running up the inlet. That's how they run in the land of milk and honey and the midnight sun. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Hi, so who do we have here?
Mary Garvey of Long Beach, Washington.
And I understand you are helping facilitate the Singers Circle this morning.
Yes, and wasn't that wonderful? I think it was really exceptional.
It was very good. So how did you get involved with Fisher Poets Gathering?
You know, I don't know. They just sort of invited me many years ago. I think somebody might have just put my name in because I'm local. So I think, although I'm not a fisher and I'm not a poet, but I have worked in fisheries research. So I guess that might count a bit. So I always feel like I'm a total imposter. You know, I should be out there, you know, on the open seas or something. Nope.
Did you say you do?
Oh, thank you.
You have you do fish research?
I've worked on it at the University of Newfoundland many years ago, both whales and sea cucumbers and codfish were all over, but I didn't get too involved. I did some graduate work at the University of Newfoundland, which full of music. Oh, the place was just totally filled with music.
Do you perform?
I'm not a performer. You know, maybe it's small things, you know, small. And I go to camps, and I like song circles and singing with small groups of people.
Is there any special thing you're going to tonight?
Tonight, well, I'm supposed to be at the Voodoo Room singing tonight at 8, and then everybody, I just want to see everybody. And everybody's at the same time. I think they're all at 8 o'clock. I always like the Brownsmead Flats and Hope Kiter, and Ron McDaniels is here, and the list just goes on. I mean, there's just amazing people here. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your volunteer work.